Home. An idea that has been refined and redefined so many times throughout my life. Home to me used to be 948 Bell Avenue in the Heights. It used to be my first love. It used to be the place I was born in. But as life progressed, so did the idea of home. 948 Bell Avenue split into Mom's house and Dad's house. My first love turned into my second love and then my third. And the city I lived in my entire life was constantly under construction. After all of this, I question home. Where is home? Who is home? When is home? What is home? Why home? And I think the only way to answer this is to return to the last place that felt like home.
I fuck with baby just because.
Hollis made the beat, so you know it's finna slap.
I fuck with baby just because. I stay ducked off, I want the money, not the buzz.
Alright, go for it.
Rebel without a cause, 11 in my catalog. I invest, so I bet on me, that's what I can afford. And the people love it, they applaud of their own accord. Can't write me off, why? I chart my course. I know I haven't made it yet, dream big, the craziest. Futurists debated best, playing safe ain't the safest bet. Been underestimated, took losses when I played my best, but no regrets, it's all part of the test. Life blessed me with a gift, I'm very diplomatic also. I counted every punch with jabs and hooks to the torso. I seen the best in life cause I know it when it's awful. I'm not black thought, I'm thoughtful, wishing you were more so. Lyrics like hieroglyphics written in the source code. My hope is the music brings you peace in your war zone. Boom bap like Morse code, we the people, yeah I thought so. We will all meet at the crossroads.
You want to clap for me?
All right.
Yeah, so name and...
My name is Chinua Andwele Badru Maurice Rhodes. My family's from East Palo Alto, California. And I moved here probably when I was like around 4 years old, right in the South area. So I've actually been here all my life.
I moved to Sacramento in 2008, 2009. I'm born and raised in Oklahoma, but my parents actually split up, and during that time my mom made the decision to bring me and my siblings back to where she grew up, which was Sacramento. And so she took us and we flew back out here, and I've been in Sacramento since then.
I was born and raised in Sacramento, specifically in Antelope, California. And I lived in Sac until I was 26 years old. So I'm 100% Sacramento proud.
Born and raised in Sacramento. I went to my first 2 years of college at University of Montana in Missoula. That's the only time I've been out of California for that period of time.
Yeah, and I was born and raised in Mississippi, so I'm a transplant. But been here for 40 years. I think, it's home now.
December 1st, 2011 was the day, touchdown. It was 80 degrees outside and I was completely overdressed. I had like jeans, Timbs, hoodie, Scully. I was like super East Coast guy. And I show up and it's like super hot out here and I just didn't understand why there was no snow on the ground in December. And it like stayed that way for the entire month. Like that blew my mind.
I was born and raised in South Sacramento. I'm the oldest of 16 children. So I got 6 sisters and 9 brothers. All of us born here in the States.
79 fit come to United States. ออกจากเขาเป็นตัวนั่นน่ะไปตั้งสเตชันเนี่ย communists. That's what brought her here to the United States.
Your mama don't want me over, and it's quite cool with me. Your mama don't want me over, I know.
And where are you from? Where am I from? Where was I born? I was born in Laos.
Just a little louder.
Really? Yeah. My voice doesn't go any louder. Okay. No, it doesn't. No, then I would be screaming. Okay. My name is Vohn. And I was born in Laos.
Yeah, that's good.
I was born in the month of May of 1975. And that was when the war ended. And I was not a month old, and I cried a lot. So my parents had to escape, again, from Laos to Thailand, and they had to navigate through different villages throughout the night. And of course, because I was crying, the idea of actually being caught and was the question about, was it worth being caught with a family of 8, or maybe just getting rid of one child and not being caught. So that was, and most family did leave their babies behind because of that, because they didn't want the whole family to be caught. I am extremely thankful and very fortunate. Every single day I appreciate more where I came from, because it was hard struggling as a kid, not knowing how to speak English, growing up extremely just poor, didn't even know education was an option, let alone even having a career at all. The idea that being here just away from the war and everything, and now knowing that you can actually make something out of yourself. Again, what it means to me is just being thankful that my parents brought me here, and knowing that when life is that I think that may be hard, it's not as hard as I think it is. I have to remember where I came from.
She likes you to fly.
So my name is Vohn, and I am a proud South Sacramentan, born and raised in Sacramento. First and foremost, I am a proud daughter of Hmong refugees and a proud South Sacramentan. And recently, the voters of District 8 selected me to be their next councilwoman, so that's super exciting. This is the first time that the city or the voters have elected their first Asian American woman onto the city council. And the API, the Asian American Pacific Islander, Native Hawaiian community is huge, right, in Sacramento, and it's really important to make sure we have leadership that reflect folks on the ground, so yeah.
With your resilience, your energy, your blood, sweat, and tears, literally because we've cut our fingers a couple times, and your votes, you've made it clear that South Sacramento is ready to take our rightful place at City Hall. Yeah! that all of our families, our Black, our white, our Latino, our Hmong, our Southeast Asian, Pacific Islander, our East Asian, old, young, poor, working class, that all of us deserve safe neighborhoods, opportunities for our young people, and that means to take care of our loved ones. Right. We not only deserve it, but we demand it.
Yeah. Any of the work that I've ever done has been predicated on how do I make the South Side better, or how do I show people from the South Side that you can be from the South Side, you can be proud of being from the South Side, you can come from situations that I've lived through and came through, and you can still do great things for your neighborhood and the city as a whole. And so like the idea of like, okay, instead of continually pushing to try to get somebody else to make decisions that best impact my community, I'm from my community and I have straight lived experiences from there, and I'm doing the organizing work. I sit on the Parks and Rec Commission. I understand governance. So what is the next step in the progression of really making change? And so that's was like the idea why me and Myra actually ran a parallel campaign. So she ran for city council, I ran for school board, but those were like two of the main seats, governmental seats in the South area. And then how can we work collaboratively to impact everyone in a better way?
Okay, we're gonna say this a little louder, right? South Side, right! South Side, right! South Side, right! Hey.
Our community is so rich in experiences, different languages, different food, different lived experiences, but I would say shared struggle, right? And that's the beauty of our community.
Okay, so first of all, my name is Mr. Hill. Everybody calls me Mr. Hill, especially in the sneaker community and with the work that I do. And I grew up in Southside areas, like Fruit Ridge and Franklin areas. Everything that I do started off as the sneaker giveaway project. My passion for wanting to work with kids kind of just grew from just experiencing it. I was that kid, constantly in trouble. I can't remember how many times I was suspended, for various reasons. But at the same time, I had many teachers and just adults in my life that like didn't give up on me. Shout out to Mr. Martin. I remember he's probably like the one person that's ever connected with me outside of like him being a teacher. He made a stop to my family's house for like a home visit, came through, had dinner with my family, brought like this Native American, portrait kind of design thing. And to this day, it's still in my house. And I didn't realize how important that was until I got older. And especially when I was put into that position to be able to impact more kids, kids on my own. It honestly just started off as like a thing. It was just kind of just like, hey, let's just try this. I was tired of giving out pencils and erasers and stickers. And I was like, man, like it has to be more than just like me playing with kids all day long. It's like, no, like I have to do something that will change,
How's everybody doing today? Good. I see you guys ready. I see you guys ready to go. For sure. My man. How you doing? Come on up, man. So first of all, let me start. My name is Mr. Hill or Coach Hill, whichever one you guys want to call. One thing I started a few years ago was a sneaker giveaway. I give out sneakers to students that are just amazing, man. Like whether you're keeping your grades up, whether you're just being a leader, whatever it is, man. I want to recognize it, and I want you guys to know that we all recognize it. Not just me, but then everybody, Like I said, man, ever since I met this little guy, he's just been the most humble kid I've ever met. And I told him that, hey, I'm gonna get you one day. I'm gonna get you a pair of sneakers one day. And he's like, no, don't. I said, why? And he says, you know what? Because I know somebody somewhere else, could benefit from the shoes more than I would. And I was like, man, I've never had a kid turn me down. They didn't turn me down on some free sneakers, man. And so I had to make it happen. These aren't free, okay? So with the price tag on these is you have to promise that you're just gonna keep on doing amazing things, keep your grades up, most importantly, man. And on top of that, just continue being humble, man. I mean, like I said, you taught me that, and it's stuck with me for the rest of my life. And I have 2 young boys of my own. I hope that they grow up just to be as amazing as so hey, give me a hug, man. Give me a hug. All right. And like I said, it's not the best for you. I hope everybody you wear, you think of everybody that's rooting for you, okay? All right, man. You can go check them out, man. Check them out, man.
Look at them.
I think that Sacramento showed me 2 things. It showed me love, it showed me nurture, it also showed me joy, it showed me pain, it showed me systemic racism, it showed me Black joy, all of those things at the same time, Sacramento teaches you. But at the same time, Sacramento is also a place that has the highest suspension rate for Black young men, right? Sacramento is also a place that in Sacramento Unified School District, white students are performing 34% better than the California state average, while Black students, students of color, poor students, and students with disabilities are performing way below state average. And you don't lose optimism through that reality, but it does push you to continue making the change. And so Sacramento also has shown me hope for the future.
We love the South area as well as everywhere else in Sacramento, but you're looking at a South Side boy here, and I really am happy to see somebody, especially somebody of color, coming out of the South area in such a positive way, who's made great impact.
She wanna live by the palm tree. I'm trying to fathom the reason why. Don't you wanna live life? Don't you wanna beat? I need you to quit all your playing. Come and get some loving, baby. Some loving, baby.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. Mary Wright, co-owner of Step One Dance and Fitness. And that's my role.
He said, that's what I do.
That's what I do.
Right. And Pepper Vohn, and I'm also co-owner of Step One, and philanthropist or community servant.
I started taking dance classes from Pepper in Sacramento. He was teaching at Sacramento City College, and I had a dance background from my childhood, so continued as an adult, and just started taking his classes and danced with the company. And the nursing home that I worked for was bought by Sutter Hospital, and they didn't retain any of the management staff. So at that point in time, we just talked about, let's try and open a dance studio and fitness studio, because he was doing fitness at the time. It took us about a year to find a space that would accommodate our needs and be able to, open the studio. And the 19th and T location was it. Traditionally, dance has been limited to a certain race or a certain economic income. And we've always, from the get-go, made dance available to everyone. If someone had the passion to dance, it was our obligation to make that happen.
I think working with Pepper and Mary was almost like having dance parents. Like Pepper's super, he knows how to guide. He's always there to listen. It was just nice to have someone that's been in the community as long as he has to help us move forward. Being here, like I said earlier, it just became, if not my first home, my second home. If they had cots here, we'd sleep here for sure.
Well, Step One gave me almost all my opportunities to start. Step One let me teach a class here, and eventually I started my own workshop called Revive, and they let me use Step One as the home. So I got to invite a lot of my friends from LA and around the world to come teach here for Sacramento. And if it wasn't for Step One giving us that opportunity, I don't know where I would be with Revive. And that kind of opened up a lot more resources for Sacramento to learn from other people that aren't from here, or even just for other dancers to learn what Sacramento has to offer as dancers. And Step One always opened that opportunity for me to either teach my own classes, teach with them, or bring people here to teach for them.
Step One, I think it's very nostalgic, you know, I feel like for a lot of dancers in the dance community, because, you know, they never shut their door on us. You know, what we were doing at the time was very different from like formal dance studio students, you know. I mean, we brought in kids and people who were not formally trained, who were not, never grew up in a studio or anything like that. And Mary and Pepper kind of gave us that space, you know what I mean, to allow us to essentially practice, share styles, teach, you know, and in turn, they were able to kind of see us do what we do. And they were like, you know, I like that, you know, teach our students and stuff like that. And I felt like because of their openness, they allowed us to really share more, you know what I mean, to their students, because it kind of became this cross thing where we took our skills and then we took the kids, you know, that they had at the studio, and we kind of brought them together. And it was really nice to actually see, because I just felt like they just allowed us to be more versatile as dancers, you know, and even vice versa. Some of us who had no formal training or never grew up in a studio were able to get that opportunity to be in a studio, to learn those things, to learn different styles. So, I mean, if it wasn't really for them bridging that gap, you know, we could not go far with our teams, with our crews and things like that. Like, we couldn't host the events we couldn't have the money that we could to do all these things, because, you know, they gave us that space and they gave us those resources, you know, to do what we wanted to do and to go farther. So I super appreciated everything that they did for us. Granted, we were young and dumb and you know, probably weren't the most responsible at the time, but even them knowing that about us, they still took a chance, and I'm very grateful for that.
So I found dance very late in life. I stumbled across a Zumba class that was starting at the gym I was going to. And I thought, oh, let me check it out. It was Friday nights and, you know, I wasn't doing anything. So I went to a Zumba class and just fell in love with all the movement, the dance. This particular instructor, I followed her from that gym over to here at Step One. And after a month, I said, LaToya, I can't move like you. I don't know if I should keep trying to do this. And she said, well, are you having fun? And I said, yes. And she said, do you like it? I said, I love it. She said, why would you stop? And so I kept going. At first I was like, I'm so behind. But then, you know, you find things in life when you're supposed to. And so I just, you know, and Pepper Vohn, you know, everybody's on their own journey. So just kind of breathe, enjoy it. And I could and did learn and love to teach and share that passion. So that was something I was doing. And I kind of thought that's what my dance journey was. And then when I got the cancer and started having to really reevaluate things and kind of figure some things out, I said, oh, dance was preparing me for this journey. It wasn't the end. It was leading into helping me get through something much bigger.
take it to the other side. But Windsor and market me, an A and scholars me. Streets a minute from calling me, where Izzy and projects be. My older brother try to holler at Yachty, Puerto Rican with a little body. He was a player, I was a player. Mac in the hoop, every was somebody. I went to school, I knew the rules. Port 44, that was the crew. Cutting teeth and paying dues. I paid attention and made some moves. Made some money and made some tools. Straight out of hell, bad business for product sales. I was proud to sell. Mama still tripping, the power's real. Those powder sales, light as hell. Hey, sticky with the lime as well. Dimes fine as hell. Only time will tell. Too smart for the hood niggas. Too black for the white folk. Two of me wherever I go. Four eyes, never mind closed. I know.
My name is Paul Willis, and I am a DEI consultant here in Sacramento. And I'm also a hip hop artist and a poet. And I feel like I've had that job since I was 12 years old. So there's a bunch of stuff that I do, but it's kind of centered around these principles of hip hop, education, social justice, and building community. There are a lot of like barriers, whether those are visible or invisible barriers that are put up. And for me, I want to kind of knock those things down so that the youth who we've been mentoring and encouraging and doing all this, so when they walk in, they're not fighting up against that stuff. They get to show up, be their best selves in that space, and really get to the hard stuff. But the people who I think will lead those conversations the best are our young people who grew up in it. So I'm excited to see what's gonna happen when, you know, this next generation, when they become the CEOs and executives and politicians and all of that, because I think we're gonna see some really radical shifts. But as I started to get deeper into the community, started understanding kind of who people were and, you know, just where I could find my community, that was through hip hop. It was like hitting the open mic scene, sharing my music with people as we were talking. It was an opportunity to really kind of build community and connect with others because they could relate to the things that I was talking about. But I think here in Sacramento, there's a real like do-it-yourself spirit and attitude. And because of that, whether it's the arts or business or politics, you'll see people kind of really create real social change or real movements out of nothing. And it's the most inspiring thing.
My shot get shot at, you boxed in and you bounce back. Bust for rides to every school I applied for, how about that? Summer 02, 03, if you really know me, I could have been on either side of the underside. I was undecided. Hey, can't know MIT.
What you want, tell me what you need. Tell me what you want, tell me what you need. Tell me what you want, tell me what you need. Lot of things.
Tell me what you want. Tell me what you need. Tell me what you want. I got a lot of that. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you need. Tell me what you want. I got a lot of that.
Hey, tell me what you want, tell me what you need. I got a lot of you, get it for a fee. Packing pockets, I've been getting to the juice. Telling mama come and holla.
Hey, check me out, my name is Soosh.
Like I have to think of like something that's a small moment to me is like my first jam win. I was like a prelim prisoner for like 6 years. And then out of nowhere, like I beat out hella people. I beat out I think like Surf and Animal. And it was a great feeling. It was great for my ego in a really good way. But I think on a larger scale, like when I think of my favorite moment, it's being a part of the community for so long that I got to watch it go from a b-boy dominated to, you know, the all-style scene, and then the different eras in the all-style scene, like the Sacktown Underground, the King of the Scene, the LITM, Nightwalkers, and then I think when I think of moments, it's like moments where I sit back and I look at the changes that I've gotten to witness and got to experience within the community.
When I found Crump, that was also a beautiful thing too, to find yourself in something that you've been involved in for a while. Because when you're lost, it's a really hard feeling to just keep doing things and not having to have a purpose behind it. But yeah, this was probably one of my favorite moments so far inside.
Let's go! Hey! Come on. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Let's go. Let's go, Mike. Let's go. Mike. Come on, Mike.
say me finding a family in Mafia, me finding that family with them, finding the family within Nightwalkers as well. The experiences I've shared with both families in one, even with one up fam, shout out to them. The experiences we've all had together, whether it was doing choreo competitions, us coming together to cypher, or even the beat, that was a little beat fun competition that we had, we just battling each other whenever we seen each other. It was just going down. I enjoyed that the most. That's probably a huge something that I can really look back on every day and be like, yo, that was tight.
Now it goes. Peace sign, peace sign. Come and get your peace sign. Who are you? Who am I? I'm just looking for some peace of mind. Peace of my mind that I lost with this generation. Peace of my mind, hope and love for this generation, but feeble minds. People be the times for this generation, and evil minds. Evil be the times for this generation. This generation generated love, but without the patience. What love is without the patience is love turned into hatred. This generation generated high minds, but weak thighs. High heads, but weak legs. Knee bends and 3 tries and blood that we got gone to our arms and to our tongue so we can speak more instead to hear and hold our big guns, but the heart could use some. We would hate for love, but we might not love to hate. But goodness me, the thought is intrusive. What kind of love is so great that we would take away a breath? A selfish love of someone so they could love yourself. Now, can I get a peace of mind?
In Sacramento, I started this open jam session for musicians and artists to connect every month. That would really be the highlight of that month, because it would just be the craziest shit to see Camilla Covington vibing out with musicians that she's never vibed out with, or Alicia Hall, or Julian Cunningham, or Nate Curry, or the Nightwalkers pulling up to, freestyle with the Vibe With house band. But yeah, Vibe With. Those have been always like the craziest times for me.
Yeah, cause all my people from the 916, the 916 from the... All my people from the 916, the 916 gone. What would you do if your son was out home? Crying alone on the bedroom floor, cause he's hungry, and the only way to feed him is up to sleep with a man.
I would have to say late night dance rehearsals. Typically, people would have like a sorority or fraternity type of vibe, but I felt like my sorority / fraternity was my dance band. And like I got to really bond with those people, and now I forever can call them family.
One that really stands out to me right now is there was a battle that was thrown in Sacramento called Style Wars, and it was put on by Joe Remedy. It was just a shock to me because there were so many dancers, and for the first time I kind of felt like us dancers in the community, like we were like the celebrities. And I just really felt like the event really highlighted us as the artists. And it was just such a fun night, like just exchanging, getting down with everybody. That was definitely one of the top 5.
One of my favorite moments out here in Sacramento was when I made the Sacramento dance team. It was a goal I was working towards, and I had got denied 4 times in a row. So one year I really dedicated my time specifically to that goal, and when I finally made it, I was really proud of myself.
Main one off tops was the danging event where you allowed me to battle as a flexor, because I've been holding on to that side of me for so long, and so it really meant a lot to be able to show who I am.
the word? Yo, this time it's going up.
My name is Bryan Dane, and I am a creative entrepreneur, street dancer, brand builder, designer. I just create.
Hey, D, what you got over there? What you holding up right now? Okay.
Nightwalkers was created around 2015, 2016. It was created in a response to the lack of community opportunities. During the time before 2015-16, Fresh and Fly was producing like a plethora of events.
Your love is like the Holy Ghost. I shake it all in my bones, yeah. I never felt such a feeling.
Peace, y'all. This is Larry, aka Fatso Fresh, coming straight out of South Sacramento, California. I was a part of a really big b-boy crew called Flexible Flav. They were like a world-renowned b-boy crew based out of here in Sacramento, and these guys would be traveling internationally, winning events. And the thing that would suck is whenever we'd come home, the scene was just kind of dead. So I was like, okay, what can I bring from my experience of traveling and bring that to the Sacramento local scene and try and spark that inspiration and give them that feeling that I was feeling when I was traveling. When I first started the first Sacktown Underground, that was back in 2010. With Sacktown Underground, what was amazing about it was that we would get people from all around the world. It's crazy, like anywhere you go, usually the capital of a state is like the biggest, but because we're Sacramento and not San Francisco, Oakland, or LA, we're the ultimate like underdog city. We always get slept on, but we're one of the most talented cities like in the world.
My soul on fire, yeah. You put a running in my wall, and you put a tremble in my talk. This feeling that I have deep within, it makes me feel like I've been born again. Hey, say it.
And then 2015, 2016 came around, and there wasn't a lot going on in Sac. People stopped doing events, and it was like this like drought. So then I was like, you know what? Like instead of me waiting, I'm gonna just throw a session, and I'm gonna call it Nightwalker session.
It's always realer when my peoples come around, hailing from the west and the south side of Sacktown. When we come around, we hold it down. Yo, this time it's going up. We hold it down, bringing the feels in the field when we round, hailing from the west and the south side of Sacktown. When we come around, yo, we hold it down. Hashtag we the way. And you can tell them it's that.
We went from like 40 people, then we grew to like 200 people, then we grew to like 240, 250, and then eventually that just grew over time. It started with just street dance, but then I noticed that like a lot of people wanted to just come through and share who they were. So I wanted to give an opportunity for everybody. So it eventually became like just street dance, and then it was like, okay, then it grew to choreography, showcases, poetry, music, fashion, cars. And it just became like this central creative hub for like people to come through and express themselves.
I think the biggest thing about the dance scene in the community here in Sacramento is the dancers here just love to dance and love to be able to be in that creative space that allows them to express who they are and what they stand for.
I feel like we naturally have the skill and the creativity to do what we want, but we don't necessarily have the pressures like from the outside world to like make us like, oh, we have to succeed, we have to do that. So that's like a downfall, but the positive thing is like we just got it. It's in us, it's not on us. You feel me? Like, it's just there.
I think the Sac dance community is special because it's very open-minded, I think, to a lot of people. You get a lot of people from all different kinds of backgrounds and different styles that will share with others, and they'll still like encourage people to go out and show what they have. rather than like trying to be the best of the best.
Again, it's gonna be the sense of family. It's the energy you feel. Like you can go to any dance event, whether it's a Nightwalkers event or another event in Sacramento. It's the energy of the people coming together that Sacramento creates.
We're a very proud city. You know, we went through a lot being an unknown, unmapped kind of city with dancers or talent. And we went through a lot to make sure we can show and prove that we do have talent, you know. And I think that as a city, we are very proud of that, you know, of everything we went through to just put ourselves on the map and then stay on the map.
But I think that's, to me, is what's important, just the fact that it's homegrown. And we figured it out for ourselves. Like, no one gave us a book. No, there were no famous choreographers coming out here to teach us or to train us. Like, we were trained by our people, and I can see that's definitely the pride of it. So.
Home is wherever we find comfort, whether that be comfort within yourself or comfort within your environment.
Comfort in the fact that I can hop on the 99 or the 5 and get to where I need to go without getting lost.
Or the feeling you get when you finally get to jump into your bed after having a long day.
Somewhere where you don't feel the pressures of the world.
Where you can leave all your troubles at the door.
Making me feel like I have no type of worry in the whole entire world.
A safe haven.
It's where I can laugh and be silly.
Where I can be openly creative.
Having the safe space to be myself freely mentally and emotionally.
Nobody's gonna judge you based on what you do or what you say.
A source of true joy. Place to find peace.
Happiness. Warmth.
Love.
Love.
And love.
I feel like that's probably the foundation, you know, like an abundance of love.
Home is what keeps you going every single day.
Home to me is gotta be a place. It's a place where you meet with your friends every week just to hang out, or it's the place where you could confidently have all your me time and know that you won't be disturbed. And if you're in a place and you're sleeping in the nude, you are definitely at home. That's home.
Home is a subconscious perspective of your roots.
And that's in 916 Sacramento, California.
The people is what makes it home.
There's a lot of talented people that come out of Sac. You ask them where they're from, you know for a fact they won't hesitate to represent Sacktown, baby.
Home is more than just a city and a place. It's honestly the community. It's the people.
It's when you create memories and experiences with your loved ones.
Just a phone call away, knowing that someone else is on the other end, and we'll always have each other's back, no matter what.
Home is more than just a shelter.
Even if I have a house, it won't feel like home without them.
Without them, I'd be completely lost.
Home is where my family's at. Whether it's just me and my kids or me and my extended family, whenever we're together, I just have this overwhelming sense of joy and peace.
Home is wherever my heart chooses to follow.
It's where growth happens.
Home is pushing my own boundaries.
It is also the place where stories will never end.
Home is with you, no matter where we are and no matter how far.
And home is the best thing in the world.
It's not a physical place, it's not a person, it's a feeling.
Sometimes you feel sad there, sometimes you feel happy there. Most of the time you feel safe.
Home is not where everything is perfect and where everything is easy, but I do believe that home is the feeling of having the support system that you need to get through both the easy and the difficult times.
It helps remind me that everything's going to be okay.
I have one house and I feel like I have several homes.
That's when I lost my hope, cause at the point that they would leave I ended up hurting more. Though at the time my life really began to get messy, but that's the moment that I got to learn a valuable lesson. The worst thing that I'm feeling when I'm feeling most empty is that I cannot tell the difference between love and acceptance. That's the reason why that people get addicted to drugs, to escape the pain of life, so we live fast and die young, to avoid our problems we can never seem to run from. How can time heal any wounds if we can't get to confront? That's why in life we gotta be our own leaders, cause we as certain people always hurt other people.
Home to me used to be 948 Bell Avenue, but now I know home is wherever I feel protected. It used to be my first love, and now I know home is wherever I invest my love. It used to be the place I was born in, but now I know wherever I go, I will always have a home in me. Because home is where you are. Home is who you are. Home is where you feel like yourself. Home is what makes you you. Home is why you have purpose, why you belong, and why you matter.
Two little birds, they flew by my window, and they told me not to give a damn. It's time to take over the world, I got something to show ya. Mind is the gun, time to take it out the holster and be free. Let yourself free. They say we lost our way a long time ago. We went from kings and queens to waiting on the antidote. See, I woke up in chains on a strange boat, trying to keep the peace just to stay afloat. Knowing in my mind this is new air. Tired of living on a wing and a prayer. But we gon' get there. Said we gon' get there. I went down by the river just to free my soul, to wash in the tears that made me whole. Down by the river just to ease my mind, but the stream already dry. I went digging just to find some proof, and found the power was in my roots. This is in my roots, yeah. Though you may never be heard, you got to speak the word. You may never get through, you got to speak your truth. You got to find a way to break the chains. No more potions to ease the pain. Let it all go and let yourself know. So carry on to a new day. See, you can bruise my soul, but can't kill me. You see, the road's been paved to a runway, and these wings of mine are getting achy. See, the price was paid for me to survive. I'm gonna write my name in the sky.